This is the first time we're witnessing this. They're attacking Sophie Cunningham just like they did Caitlin last year. There is an agenda against this basketball team, and I'm calling it out right now. The league better step in immediately. They better step in immediately. We better not be dealing with what we dealt with last year.
You want to body slam me? Cool. I'll just drop 21 on your head. That was basically Sophie Cunningham's answer after Mystics rookie Kiki Ariafen hit her with a flagrant foul that could have seriously injured Indiana's newest weapon.
I mean, look, the biggest thing is we got to think long term. Like, we got to make sure that we're not putting Caitlin at risk for injury. We're not putting our team in a position, where we're thinking short term and not long term. It's a long season, 4 more games than last season. So we want to make sure that we're extra cautious and put her health and wellness first and foremost. And honestly, it's been one day at a time. How she's reacted to treatment, how she's reacted to workouts. So positive progress is being made, but we can't be short-sighted.
They lacked last season grit, unity, and a team that refuses to get pushed around, even with Caitlin-Clark out nursing a sore leg. The Fever made one thing crystal clear. They're done being anybody's punching bag. This was the start of a new era for Indiana players.
This team came out very slow, very lethargic, very stuck in the mud, very dragging ass, didn't have energy to them, didn't have flow to them.
Like Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, and Aaliyah Boston made it loud and clear. They're not backing down from anyone in this video. We're breaking it all down, Sophie's fiery response, how the Fever rallied together, and how the Mystics reacted after all the smoke.
And that's Kiki Arafin, and I got to tell you, here we go with the smiling like you've done. I don't get it. This is the worst part of the WNBA. It is.
If you're riding with Indiana, drop a spicy Sophie in the comments. Let's get into it. What do you do when the face of your franchise is stuck on the sidelines for the Indiana Fever?
Oh my God, Sophie's a dog. She just is, she's a competitor. She's versatile, so she allows us to do different things. Like, she plays with such a toughness. She's huge, and she's going to be for us all season long. But what she brings from an energy standpoint, she raises the level of play of everybody around her as soon as she steps foot on the floor. Hell, even on the sideline. I mean, her communication, everything. She's definitely an expert.
It meant heading into their preseason opener against the Washington Mystics without Caitlin-Clark. And this wasn't just any absence. This was her first missed game in 5 years from every single college matchup at Iowa. To her rookie WNBA debut, Clark always showed. Up until now, head coach Christy Sides made the tough but smart call to sit her out. Clark called it a little tightness in her left leg, and with a long season ahead, Sides said, "We've got to think long term." It was the right move for Clark's health. But in the short term, it left the Fever wide open and vulnerable. Heading into battle, the opening quarter was rough for Indiana. They got buried early, outscored 24-13. As the Mystics took full control, missed layups, no rhythm on offense. The Fever looked completely out of sync. The gap quickly stretched to 15 points, and fans watching had to be thinking, is this game already over before it's even started? Picture this: the Washington Mystics saw an opening and went for the kill from the very first tip. They came out swinging, physical, aggressive, and ready to dominate with Caitlin-Clark out. They tried to bully the Fever, daring anyone to rise to the moment. The Mystics smelled blood, and while it looked like they were cruising toward an easy win against a Clarkless Indiana squad. Meanwhile, an unlikely hero stepped up: Lexi Hull, coming off the bench with pure hustle and energy. She flipped the momentum. She racked up 4 steals through off Washington's rhythm and dropped 13 key points to keep Indiana in the fight. Kelsey Mitchell gave her props, calling out Hull for doing the dirty work and bringing the spark when it mattered most. Honestly, this was the most confident we've ever seen Lexi Hull, even with the rough start and a big early deficit. The Fever showed something powerful: resilience missing. Their superstar wasn't an excuse. It became a reason to rise. Other players stepped up, found their rhythm, and the defense locked. Suddenly that double-digit hole didn't look so impossible to climb out of. So how did the Fever stay in the fight? Without Caitlin Clark, the answer wasn't one player trying to drop 20-plus points to fill her shoes. It came from a full team effort, unexpected heroes stepping up, playing with heart, and refusing to get bullied by Washington's physical style. But the Mystics had no idea that strategy was about to blow up in their faces. Midway through the second quarter, everything flipped. That's when Mystics rookie Kyla Irwin went full WWE and body slammed Sophie Cunningham with 5 minutes left in the half. And from that moment on, the entire energy shifted. As both players fought for the rebound, Kiki Iran grabbed Cunningham and tossed her to the floor with force. The crowd let out a collective gasp, and for a moment teammates from both sides stood still. But then, in an instant, Cunningham bounced up, storming right at Iran, getting in her face without hesitation. "You don't do that," Cunningham shouted, her voice sharp and clear. Even over the broadcast, the officials quickly intervened, but the damage was already done. After reviewing the play, they handed out a flagrant foul to Kiki Iran. Honestly, the call seemed pretty light, considering just how dangerous the move looked. But the Mystics weren't finished with their target later in the game. Brittany Sykes threw another unnecessary shove, sending Cunningham crashing to the floor once again. It was anything but subtle. This wasn't basketball. It was flat-out bullying. A clear pattern was developing, with Washington players deliberately going after Cunningham. The Fever's bench went wild. This wasn't the same Indiana team that got pushed around last season. Dana Bonner, another veteran addition, didn't hesitate to step up and confront Sykes, showing just how much the team's protective culture had grown. The message was loud and clear: mess with one Fever player, and you mess with all of them. What's truly fascinating is how these incidents shifted the entire game. The Mystics thought they were being tough, trying to intimidate their opponents. Instead, they sparked a fire in Cunningham and united the entire Fever squad after the officials reviewed both incidents and handed out penalties. The game continued, but the dynamic on the court had completely changed. The Fever weren't backing down, they were fired up. Coach White later called Cunningham a dog, a term in basketball for a player who's all heart with relentless fight. So what triggered these confrontations? Was it the Mystics' frustration as their lead slipped away? Or was it a calculated attempt to intimidate the Fever's newest addition? Whatever Washington's plan was, it backfired completely. Instead of breaking Cunningham's spirit, they ignited her competitive fire. Instead of intimidating the Fever, they brought the team together, and rather than securing a victory, they set the stage for one of the most satisfying comebacks you could ever witness. The Mystics thought they could bully Sophie Cunningham, but they were about to regret it when opponents try to physically intimidate you. How do you respond? Sophie Cunningham had a simple answer: drop 21 points and lead your team to victory, and that's exactly what she did. After those brutal encounters with the Mystics, after being down 15, after being bodies slammed by Erie, often something shifted in Sophie Cunningham. The anger in her eyes turned into pure, laser-sharp focus. You could see it in how she played: more decisive, more aggressive. It wasn't just about basketball anymore. It was about making a statement. Cunningham began attacking from all angles: mid-range jumpers, drives to the basket, and three-pointers. Her full offensive range was on display. The Mystics tried everything to throw her off her game, bodying her, bumping her. But with every physical play, Cunningham only grew stronger and more determined. Her efficiency was something to behold. She hit 6 of 11 shots from the field, nearly 55%, but it was at the free throw line where she really showed her composure, knocking down 7 of 8 attempts for an outstanding 87.5%. This wasn't just about piling up points. This was smart, high-percentage basketball in the clutch moments.